Back when we were preparing to implement the new translation of the Roman Missal in the Archdiocese, I was running workshops for the laity and for the priests to talk about what the changes were, why we had them, and so forth. And one of the workshops I did was in North Reading at St. Teresa's. And I remember this particular day because I also teach in a master's program out of the seminary called the MAM program. And I had one of my former students come up to me to say hi. And then she said something really funny. She said, Father, I have to admit, I was really not happy with the grade you gave me. She said, but a couple of days ago, I was up in my attic and going through some old paperwork, and I happened to run into the paper I wrote for you. And again, I remember when I took it out, really how upset I was with you for the grade you gave me. She said, then I started reading through my paper and reading your comments and what you said about it. And I finally realized I got the grade I actually deserved. And I have to admit, when I grade a paper, I kind of remember always in the back of my head what both of my parents always said to me when they taught, that they actually never gave their students a grade. Rather, they gave to their students the grade that the students, in a sense, gave to them by the work they did. And as I sit back and I think about sort of that truth and that reality of how easy we kind of do get upset by sort of events in our lives, and how easy it is for us to look rather to the other person than to ourselves. This particular person, rather than seeing, in essence, the paper that she had given me, she saw, rather than looking to herself as the issue, she looked to me as the issue. And how often we fall into that trap. And think about it. We do that with God all the time. And not just us. You just have to read the scriptures, and how often in the scriptures people blame God for all of the bad things that happen in their life, and yet take no responsibility for the choices they made that got them there. How often they blame God, but they don't look at the circumstances and the situations, because it's simpler not to look at ourselves. It's easier to blame someone else. It's always someone else's fault for what's wrong in my life. And when we get caught in that sort of blame game of looking beyond ourselves, the bad part about that then is we can never fix what's actually wrong, because it's therefore out of our control. But when we can recognize our responsibility for the situation we're in, when we can really take responsibility for what has brought us to where we're at, it changes the whole situation. But taking responsibility is not an easy thing for us, because it really is far easier to blame someone else. It's far easier to get angry at someone else. It's far easier to look anywhere but in the mirror. But until we're willing to look in the mirror, until we're really willing to take responsibility for our own lives, our actions, our choices, we can't fix anything. We can't change anything. It was in that moment that she looked at the paper and realized why she got the grade, that it changed her entire outlook at what had happened. I have no doubt that was a moment of grace for her. May we be willing to start taking responsibility for our own lives, rather than looking to others to see what they've done wrong to us, but rather see what I can do to bring about the change that's needed. God bless.